In this video, we're going to look at how we can get an estimate for the medians and the quartiles from histograms. Let's just have a think about medians. In a list of data, we know the position of the median is at n plus 1 over 2. For grouped data, we estimate this position to be at n over 2, where n is the frequency. This is what we do when we're working out where to draw the line across to find the median from a cumulative frequency curve. In a histogram, we know that the frequency is represented by the area of the bars in the histogram, so to find the position of the median, we need to split this area in half. Let's just have a look at a very basic example where our histogram is symmetrical. We can easily see that to split the area in half, I can just pop my red line in the middle, and I know then that I have half the area on the left of the red line and half the area on the right of the red line. So that tells me I can read my median from the bottom, and my median is 40 marks. So this is the histogram that you worked on in your starter, which shows the time it takes to sell 160 houses on a housing estate. You worked out in the starter that the median was in the group 8 to 12 months. But what we want to do now is we want to get a better estimate of where within that group the median actually falls. And to do that, we need to split the area in half. So we need to find out where within this bar to draw the line. So I've got half the area on the left and half the area on the right. So let's just go through those steps. So the first steps is what you've already done, and it's to work out which bar the median's in. So we're going to find out the frequency that the median is at by taking our 160 houses and dividing it by 2. So we know the median is at the 80th house. We're then going to find out what group the 80th house is in. So we're going to find the frequency of each bar, which you can see I've already done and written on here. And then we're going to find our cumulative frequencies. So I'm just going to use a different colour. So my cumulative frequencies I'm going to write on the intersection between the bars. So I've got 2 there, and then I go up to 16, and then I jump up from 16 to 56. In fact, I'm just going to pop those a bit higher up so they don't get in the way later on. So let's just try that again. I've got 2 and add 14 gives me a cumulative frequency of 16. And then by the time I get up to 8 months, I've hit 56, and I'm going to add 32. So I'm going to get up to 88. So I know my 80th house is in the 8 to 12 month group. So let's just write that in there. 80 houses is in the group 8 to 12 months. So in order to find out where in that group I need to draw my line, I need to know what fraction of the 8 to 12 group takes me up to the 80th house. So what frequency do I need from this 8 to 12 group? Well, I know I want to get up to 80, and I know at the start of the group I'm up to 56. So that the frequency that I actually need, in order to calculate that, I need to do my 80, which is what I want, minus my 56, which is what's at the start of the group. So I know I want a frequency of 24 houses from the 8 to 12 group, or the 8 to 12 bar. So what fraction of the bar do I need? Well, if I want a frequency of 24 houses as a fraction of the whole bar, because the whole bar is 32 houses, I want 24 out of 32 houses. And if I simplify that fraction, that's 3/4 of the bar I actually need. So I want to know how far along the width I need to go to get 3/4 of the bar. So the width of the required of the 8 to 12 bar. So if I just change colour here, if I just put that in blue, I can see that the width of the whole bar is 4, and I want 3/4 of that. So I want 3/4 of 4, which I'm sure we all know is 3. So I actually want a width to go in a width of 3. So that's going to give me my median. So if I go along 3, up to there, I can see that that's going to take me, I'm at 8, I'm going to add 3, it's going to take me to 11. So if we just look at this over here, we can see then to work out the median, I take my 8 months, which is at the start of my group, I add my 3, which takes me along to 3/4 of the bar, and that gives me a median of 11 months to sell a house. And what we could actually do so that we can see it more clearly is just pop the red line in here all the way up, and that red line gives me half my area, half my frequency on the left of it, and half my frequency on the right. With the quartiles, we can work these out in exactly the same way. So remember, with a quartile, we want for the lower quartile to find where the line goes so that I have essentially a quarter of my data on the left of the bar, and what I'm going to have is a bit of a wobbly line, 3/4 of my data this time on the right of the bar. So this one's already filled in, but I'll just talk you through it. The lower quartile, to get the position of it, we're going to estimate n over 4 this time because we want it at a quarter. So that's 160 over 4. So the median is at 40 houses. Again, we want to work out what group that's in. So we're going to do our cumulative frequency, and we should be able to see that the lower quartile is in the group 4 to 8 months. And then we just want to work out what fraction of that bar we want. So what frequency do we need from the 4 to 8 bar? Well, we're trying to get up to 40. I can see if I just pop the cumulative frequencies on here, I've got 2, I've got 16. So at the start of the 4 to 8 bar, I'm at a frequency of 16. I'm trying to get up to a frequency of 40. So that means I need a frequency of 24 from my 4 to 8 bar. So what fraction of the bar do I want? Well, I want 24 houses out of a total of 40 houses in that bar, which is 3/5 of the bar. So what width of the 4 to 8 bar do I need? Well, I want 3/5 of the total width, which is 4. So I want a width of 2.4. So I start at my 4 months, I add my width of 2.4, and that gives me a lower quartile of 6.4 months. The upper quartile you can work out in exactly the same way. Remember, to get the interquartile range, you subtract the upper quartile from the lower quartile. So if you go to the median IQR and interpreting histogram sheets on files, for the core work, you can start on question 1. Extension moves you on a bit more quickly, so you can get onto the harder questions. You can start on question 3.